So our fourth main topic we're going to talk about is something we talked about last week too a little bit, Shane, and that is that Smile is just tearing up the box office right now, guys. So over the weekend, Smile was able to rake in another 17 and a half, a little over $1 million. And that's with new competition. So it had Amsterdam now. Shane, you know a little bit about Amsterdam. You heard the cast of Amsterdam. You know David O. Russell, right? You know that this is a movie that should probably be drawing some fans out to watch it if it isn't just for the cast itself. It's a bit of an ensemble, I would say, and yet still Smile's number one at the box office. And again, I would just like to say I think that talks a lot to the fact that we're in October and people want to be in that October scary fall feeling. And I love this. I love that Smile's doing great. In fact, I think it's inspired me, guys, that I was telling Shane that I may have to, this week, we may have to journey out and check Smile out in theaters.
Field trip.
Yeah, while it's going good and everyone else is seeing it, we want to talk about it now and see it now and give us your thought. Give you guys our thoughts while it's out there and stuff. But yeah, this is coming to us from Yahoo, and so over the weekend, $17.6 million, and I think if I believe right, it brings the grand total of this thing to it was like $90 million or something. So this thing's making worldwide. Of course. Now so that means this thing's making great money. So the whole world's in this October feel with us, guys. So I'm excited. I'm happy to see that this movie's doing well. I mean, considering that you did just have a movie like Barbarian come out, and Barbarian didn't, draw this kind of much attention, and it has competition, maybe not in the horror field, but there was Lyle Crocodile, which gained $11.5 million. Amsterdam should have been a movie that made $15 to $20 million easily in its sleep opening weekend, guys. And then you had Bros, you still things at the box office, and it's beating all those things. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have to go check it out. Like I said, the longer that it's out there and the more that it's being successful, the more that it makes me want to go see it while I can in the theaters, And so everything I'm hearing about is good. I mean, the Rotten Tomato scores are still up in the high 70s or maybe 80s. So fans and critics are loving it alike. And, I mean, this just looks fun. I mean, we talked about the trailers last week on the show. And if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But, the trailers look creepy and just weird, and just the idea of these people smiling at you and kind of passing this thing on to you in itself is just kind of terrifying. And like I said, it kind of reminds me, it follows, and Shane brought up that it reminds him of The Ring, and it really is kind of almost like a combination of those two things, and it just looks like a lot of fun. So Shane, you're seeing this Smile again, 2 weekends at the box office is dominating. It beats out a movie like Amsterdam with Christian Bale, John David Washington, Zoe Saldana. I could go on for the rest of the show naming people in that movie. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking, Shane?
Is Amsterdam going to be able to pay for its cast of...
No way.
I mean... That's quite the lineup, and they're all big bangers. So, they're all pulling in $5 million or more per picture, right? So I don't know if they're even going to recoup that. A couple things I want to talk about Smile. The more I dug into this, the more I'm excited that this movie is doing what it's doing, because this movie is written and directed by this first-time director, Parker Finn, first-time big-time project director. This was actually a short film he made 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And based on the short film, Paramount threw a bunch of money at him.
Oh, you know what? I remember this.
We watched this, right? Yeah, we watched this. Yeah.
We did. I showed this.
Yeah, you showed this to me.
Oh, yeah. It's just been so long. I mean, that had to be like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's been so long, my brain completely forgot. I'm glad you brought that up, Shane.
Yeah, so we watched that over here 2 years ago. And we thought
great.
we thought it was incredible. It was like one of the best horror things we've seen. Mm-hmm. And, and again, if you ask me what made it so special, was it the ideas? It was just well made. It knew how to build suspense and knew how to have a great payoff. And I think that's showing up now that we have a second weekend, which is always now the word of mouth weekend.
Right.
So now we know how a picture is doing based on the reviews and also friends telling friends. And it seems like it's keeping its momentum. The second thing I had to look at was I just wanted to judge this movie based on what pre-pandemic numbers were. And, it's pretty on par of like with a Zombieland 2, which makes sense. It's another horror film, came out in October. But just all in all, movies are, completely down, of course, because it's pre-pandemic, but we're nowhere near what we used to be. When Zombieland was making that much money at the box office, they were the 5th highest grossing film.
Oh, wow.
Smile now making the same numbers, number 1.
Yeah.
So, and
you got some catching up to do.
Yeah, we have some catching up to do. So it's really, I think, we're at this point where we should applaud Smile, be happy for it. But we're also in this day and age where we don't know what numbers are going to mean, Right now, I'm just glad to see that this thing's performing the way it is, and people are slowly getting back out to the theater to watch movies like this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And to speak a little bit more on Amsterdam, Shane, you were saying, would they even make their budget? So they made $6.5 million opening weekend on an $80 million budget.
Yeah, I bet half of that was cast.
$80 million budget, and it's sitting on a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, really? That bad?
Right? So, it's but again, just with opening weekend, though, you would still think that people would go out at least, and then, you tell your friends it's terrible, and then no one goes to see it again. But, again, I really, 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 though, want to emphasize, guys, I know you're going to hear this a lot from me this month, but it really speaks to just how people feel again this month. It's scary time, man, and people just want to be scared, man, and we like that stuff. There's literally places here. I don't know where you guys live, but in our city, there's places here where you can pay for guys with chainsaws to chase you around. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome to 2022.
Right. So the world we live in wants to be scared. We have all these things to scare us. Even if you think of an amusement park ride, right? The idea of what makes it fun is that it scares us, right? So I think it speaks a lot to, again, the time of the year it is, because, I feel like if this was September, that Amsterdam would have beat Smile, and Smile wouldn't probably doing maybe good at all at the box office, especially not $100 million worldwide for a movie that we really know nothing about. And this is really great. I'm glad, Shane, you brought up the fact that this comes from a content creator on YouTube that was just, creating content, and putting it out there in the world and hoping for the best. And he gets this deal with Paramount or whoever it is, and he gets this movie made, and he takes advantage of the situation. He makes a good movie. And look, it's doing well. And as a movie fan, I'm glad to see those kind of things. It fills my heart with joy to see that not only, did this guy get an opportunity, he capitalized on the opportunity. And now he has, a success. So moving forward, we could, have more movies by this guy that are potentially just as good, if not even better, as time goes on. So that's pretty exciting too. It reminds me a lot of something that I wanted to talk about when I thought about making a main topic today, but there's just not enough information, and we will later as it goes. But someone we really love as a director here is Robert Eggers. Me and Shane just really love him, and he's making a Nosferatu movie. That's what he's working on right now. Cool. That's his next thing, and there's some more casting information coming out. They were saying Nicholas Hoult, the guy that played Beast in the
First
X-Men,
Class.
yes, may be involved in it now, and they cast Nosferatu, the guy that plays It, I believe, Skarsgård, or I think that's his name, is going to be playing Nosferatu, and so there's all these things about Nosferatu, and it just gives me hope that if this movie gets completed, which I think it will finally, because this is something he's wanted to do for a long time, but he's kind of never had the cachet to cash in on it. But now, he can walk in and say, hey, I'm Robert Eggers and I want to make this movie, and he's got it. So I think we'll get it. But just seeing something like Smile, having success like this, even because even Robert Eggers' movies is great. One of the best directors working today. I mean, Lighthouse made what, $6 million?
I'm pretty sure Smile's already outgrossed The Northman.
Yeah, there you go. And The Northman's one of the best films to come out, in recent years. So again, it just does my heart, fills my heart with joy to see someone have this success, and hopefully moving forward we can have more success when it comes to these horror based movies, and I think it speaks a lot too, because we just talked about, again, Barbarian had just came out towards the end of September, and it did okay, but it ain't doing what Smile's doing. Smile is 2 weekends in a row at the box office against a movie again like Amsterdam, the star stacked with cast, So it just shows you that October, that 1 week difference between, September 20 whatever and October 1st. Like, there was a big difference, because, I feel like if Barbarian was out in theaters right now, Smile would have more of a competition. And I feel like, when, and Shane, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, when Halloween Ends comes out, even though it comes out simultaneously on streaming for free, basically,
people will still go out.
It's still it'll knock Smile right off of that throne of being number one, and because, again, it's Halloween and people want to be scared, and people love Michael Myers and these kind of movies. So yeah, guys, have you had a chance to check out the trailer for Smile? I know we talked about it last week. Maybe you guys have gone out in theaters and seen it. Let us know down in the comment section. Like, did you guys enjoy it? Is it a bad movie? Would you recommend me and Shane to go check it out this week? Would you guys want to hear a review on it? Let us know down in the comment section below your guys' thoughts. So